Good day, everybody. Welcome to the Multiverse of Entertainment podcast right here, wherever you're listening from right now. My name is James. This is the podcast where we dive into the multiverse of TVs and movies, and we reminisce on the good times, the bad times, the damn right ugly times. This week, we're talking about a hidden gem of a TV show and possibly the second element of this franchise that we've spoken about on this podcast in its now 18 years, 18 years, my bad, 18 weeks of broadcasting. We're talking Star Wars Clone Wars. Now, many of you are thinking, oh, he's talking about the 2008 anime 3D animation one. No, this is the 2D animation created by and directed by Genndy Tartakovsky. I hope I said that right. I'm useless with names. If you remember that name or recognize that name, I will tell you in the podcast where that name is coming from. Till then, I'd just like to say thank you all for listening in to last week's episode, which was Hitman. Really bold movie to talk about last week. And it reminisced and brought some old memories, not only the show, but the video game as well, which I loved back in the day. And I actually did purposely try and find the Hitman video games that I played growing up, i.e. Blood Money and Absolution. Absolution to this day is the only Hitman game that I've ever completed. But no luck so far. Hopefully I can have a hunt on those video game retro shops and come up with some bangers, which I have been doing very, very recently. The next couple of weeks is going to be full packed of really good shows. I'm not going to tell you all of them, what they are yet, but as we get on, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're almost at 20 episodes now, which I cannot believe. We are almost at 20 episodes. I didn't think we would get this far, but so far, from everyone who's been listening to this podcast, have said nothing but positive things. So thank you very much for watching that. But I do please urge everyone, if you're listening to this right now and you think, a friend is looking for a podcast to listen to and just wants something fresh and new and different, throw them our way. Come and tell them, the Multiverse of Entertainment podcast is where it's at right now. If you're a TV or movie lover, come and check us out. We do appreciate that. I've got no news this week. Last week, if you listened to last week's episode, I tried out a new segment called Multiversal News. Looking back at it, it was all right. Probably a little bit cringe, but it was pretty fun to do, and it was quite off the cuff as well. So I thought, I'll try something new, something element. But there's no news this week, so I won't burden your ears with that segment this week. So without further ado, let's crack on to episode 18 right now. Can't believe it's episode 18. Where we're talking about Star Wars Clone Wars, which originally released for the Cartoon Network on November 7th, 2003, and it finished March 25th, 2005, just before Star Wars Episode 3 came out. So, let's get into the episode, and here we go. This show really screams out 2003 in the old Cartoon Network era, doesn't it? I love that music. So, Star Wars Clone Wars. So for those of you who are probably not old enough to remember, before the amazing Clone Wars TV show and film that we got in modern Star Wars era, this little gem of a show was created just to tell a few like short stories to pretty much condense the 2 years. Was it 2 years of the Clone Wars where you follow certain characters through through certain battles and key battle areas during the Clone Wars. Obviously, we're getting Obi-Wan and Anakin, Yoda, Mace Windu, but we're also getting like points of view from other characters as well, such as Kit Fisto as well, and we're also getting Shakti as well, and Community Ondi as well. If somebody texts me saying you said certain character names wrong, all right, go fuck yourself. I can't fucking say names properly. All right. I know somebody's gonna be. I know somebody's gonna be in the comments or listen to say he said that name wrong. He said that name wrong. He said that name wrong. I know somebody's gonna say that. All right. So first of all, fuck you and enjoy the rest of the show. Okay. So you follow all these key characters as well, and plus you're also seeing some origin characters, origins of certain characters come to light as well. Is it what's her name? Vitress? Is it? Yeah, Vitress. Oh, sorry. Oh, what's her name now? It's right in front of me. I can't even say it. Is it Ventress? Astra Ventress, who is obviously, if you follow the Clone Wars show, she is Count Dooku's like disciple or apprentice, disciple really. And you see her origins, where she came from, or how Count Dooku came to find her, which is a really good episode. And also as well, you get to see like the little inklings of what fucking hell. Don't you just like when you talk about something and then the names just escape you? Chancellor Palpatine, right? I don't know how these names are fucking running me out today. I have no idea. And let me get this. You see like the I'm not cutting that out, by the way, because that is literally just me being like, I know what I'm gonna say, but my mind is like blah, right? So you get to see so you can see Vetrus, and you get to see Chancellor Palpatine, how he slowly, you can see like the Darth Sidious coming out slowly in certain situations, but then you don't as well at the same time. You also follow, obviously, I've said you follow Obi-Wan and Anakin as well, where they are on these certain missions, and there's a big talking point between the Council where should Anakin become a Jedi Knight? Pretty much, we get to see Anakin grow through this series, where he goes from a Padawan to a Jedi Knight. We get to see that. We get to see how he got rid of his golden arm to the arm we get to see in Episode 3, and we also get to see the origins of C-3PO's golden shell as well. We get to see a lot of that as well. With this show was directed. Obviously, the executive producers of the show were Brian A. Miller and George Lucas, obviously, because George Lucas is baby. But you've also got producers like Genndy Tartakovsky, all right, Genndy Tartakovsky. If many of you, like I probably said this in the intro, okay, if many of you have been like, I recognize that name somewhere, but I can't put my finger on where that name is. That is the creator of Dexter's Laboratory and Samurai Jack from the old Cartoon Network days, which this series is you could tell the animation style of this series is 2D, very Dexter's Lab style, Samurai Jack style. I'm pretty sure there are other cartoons that Genndy made as well back in the day, but I just can't put my finger on it. Dexter's Lab and Samurai Jack are the ones that really spring to mind about this. So they've been like talking about this, and the whole story of the show takes place between. It's a short version of season 2, between episode 2 and episode 3, and it's so good. I think it's really really good. Tells a lot of origin stories. Like I've said previously, and we also get to see certain things come out. There are funny moments of the show where the you get all the the memes, the famous dialogues, not only from the prequel movies but from the old movies as well. You get to see the Battle of Dantooine. You get to see you get to see General Grievous for the first time, who Grievous is, and his somewhat training with Count Dooku as well. We get a little bit of that. We get to Elu as well, seeing a Jedi apprentice get her her kyber crystal for the first time. Shaq T's there. We get to see all these. This show isn't a very long series as well. In total, there are 25 episodes. This is it. This is on the Disney Plus net. This is on Disney Plus as well. You can check it out. I literally had to watch the show before I recorded this podcast because I hadn't seen it since I was a kid. Then I probably watched a little bit of it when it first popped on, but then ready for this episode, I needed to watch the show before before the podcast had to be made, and it brought back so much childhood memories. And this show was, I think, this pretty much was made in anticipation for episode 3, which from when the show finished, I think episode 3 came out 1 or 2 months after the show finished. I think it was it May 2005? Yeah, May 2005. Episode 3 came out, and then when you watch that show, you're like, right, I'm ready for the movie. Bang, let's go and watch the movie. Obviously, there are certain, some of the voice actors in this. I don't know, some or all, but there are definitely some voice actors that were carried from this show over to the Clone Wars TV show. I think, obviously, minus exceptions. Samuel L. Jackson isn't the voice actor of Mace Windu in this iteration, but I'm pretty sure he was the voice actor for Mace Windu in the modern Clone Wars show. I'm pretty sure. But obviously, you've got the wonderful talents of Matt Lucas, James Arnold Taylor, Tom Kane. We've also got Anthony Daniels as well, C-3PO as himself doing the voice. Corey Burton as well. Nick Jameson as well. The theme music is created by John Williams, obviously, and the composer is J.L. Vanderbilt as well. And it's a US-based origin show. It says here, on my research while watching this, it says 3 seasons. The first season was 10 episodes. The second episode was 10 episodes, and the third season was 5 episodes. But on Disney Plus, they've done They've done 2 seasons of it, so you get like half the season on one, which is an hour and 10 minutes, and the second half is like an hour and 10 minutes as well. So it's literally about 2 hours 10 minutes. You can watch this in one go, and you wouldn't get bored of it. Really, I don't think you get bored of it. Some of the episodes are like some of the episodes in season 1 and 2 are about 3 to 5 minutes, and then season 3 is like 12 to 15 minutes. So you can see the different variations of what they were trying to do with the show, and it shows. Like, it's not too long, it's not too short. It For what the show is, it's really balanced and it's really quiet, really quite good. Um, as well. If you're very nostalgic about certain shows, then definitely go and check out this show. It's really, really good. I'm trying to think now. Is there anything else I need to talk about? Because I don't want this to be a short episode, because I know a lot of people think maybe this show may not carry an episode. I'm very determined. Bear with me a second. Okay, so for the production of this, Tarkovsky claimed through this show that Lucasfilm convinced of the series as a way to sell more action figures, because of the prequel trilogy. Figures were underselling, which they were. It was produced and directed by said creator of Dexter's Laboratory and Samurai Jack. It employed a small animation style to the latter, according to Tarkovsky. The series was developed in 2 weeks, created by a small crew, and it was stressful because they had to translate the world I loved since I was a kid into something completely special. Those are words from Tarkovsky, and he was very deliberate on what he was trying to do. It was a 2D animation style series that we all got, and funny enough, he deliberately animated C-3PO first. So he started off with C-3PO and then made like this different way of doing things. So it's pretty clever how they did it as well. Obviously, through the show, you get to see Anakin Skywalker as well become. I think I've said this already. I'm not too sure. Jedi Knight. You see where he gets his scars from, and obviously his new robotic arms, which we've all grown to love in Episode 3. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good show. I don't think I can really say anything else about it. If you haven't seen it, it's on Disney Plus. Go and check it out right now. Yeah, I think that's it really. I can't think of anything else to say about it. There's no budgeting or anything like that for the show. I'm not even going to give the show a rating because no, actually, I am going to give the show a rating because this show was actually pretty good. So let's say 2003. Yeah, 2003 came out. So I probably give the show a 2001. 2001. It's a really, really good show. I really, really do like it. Really, really good. The plots, the scenarios, the entire thing is really, really good. And seeing all these characters that we grew to love to come out for the first time, and then obviously through the new Clone Wars show get expanded through to wherever to how it went as well, that we all know. And yeah, I think that's all I've got to say about this really. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put some music on, then we'll do the outro, and then we'll get out of here. So enjoy the music, see you in the outro. And that's it for your 18th episode here of the Multiverse of Entertainment podcast. Thank you very, very much for listening today. Hope you guys appreciate the episodes that have been coming out. I do appreciate you guys listening. It means a lot to me. It's very hard to do these episodes on my own, but I hope that it comes across really well, because I do get a little bit self-conscious when doing these. It's not easy doing a podcast like this, but I try my best. I really do, especially on these solo shows. But you always need that second or third person to carry you through the podcast episodes as well, specifically on the topics. But if you do like movies and you do like TV shows, and this is the podcast for you, please give us a follow on social media on Instagram at the Multiverse of Entertainment Pod. You can find us on TikTok as well at Mo Podcast, where each week you will get a snippet of next week of the following episode coming up. So you will expect a little snippet to come out today, which is Saturday, which I'm recording this now. So it'll come out when I've finished the show. Obviously, as well, you can listen to us on a variety of audio outlets, including Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and Amazon Music. Just search the Multiverse of Entertainment Podcast. See the picture of the name with the little Simpsons TV on the profile picture. That's us. You'll see my name, James, as the creator of it. So please follow us. Leave us a review, please. We do appreciate the reviews as well. And I'm still in the middle of trying to sort out a a YouTube channel for the podcast, as well as the one got deleted accidentally. But I do appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for listening. Tune in next week where we are episode 19, back on the movie trail, and we are talking about the ever epic Macaulay Culkin movie, The Page Master, and my buddy Sassy Bear Clarence is going to be joining me on there as well. So come tune in, episode 19 next week. Check out the previous 17 episodes prior to this one as well. We do appreciate you listening, and we'll catch you next week right here on the Multiverse of Entertainment Podcast. Stay nerdy, and the truth is out there. Bye.